What's up guys, Justin Fuller here, and today I'm out at the Subaru and Lexus of Pembroke Pines store in the Miami area. We're getting these guys set up to track their keys in the cars, not only on their sell side, but through the fixed op side of things. So let's hop on in and show you how we do it. So if you want to be able to track your keys in your cars, we're going to have to set up a network. Now for these guys, not only do they have cars out on their lot, but of course they have a parking structure that you can see behind me. So we're going to be able to tell them where the car is at, but not only that, what level of the parking structure it's on, and where in the parking structure. So to do so, you need a couple things. The first being a solar-powered gateway. We hook these up all around the dealership. These allow the network to talk so that you can see those keys in cars as they float around. Now secondarily, inside the buildings, we're going to use these interior gateways, right? So these are going to live inside the building so that you can see those keys that are in the key machine or shoved into a salesperson's desk or in a service bay, right? Wherever they may be, you'll be able to hunt those down. And those cars as well, right? If you got cars on the showroom floor, you don't want to go wandering off into the lot or into your parking structure to find them. You want to know that they're there. So it's going to make everyone more efficient and cut down on those lost key costs. All right, guys, so I want to show you the hardware that we're using for the fixed op side to start tracking your keys in your cars. So when it comes to tracking the cars, I have a couple different options, but this is what Pembroke Pines is designed to use. So I have these hang tags right here that's connected to their ticketing system. We can do this color coordinated. We can do it with names. We can customize this a lot of different ways for you. Now in here, there's going to be a tracking tag that's going to allow you to track this vehicle based off of this specific number, right? So I get in the car, I simply throw that on the rearview mirror. Now when it comes to the keys, I would simply take my customer's keys, same thing. I've got a tracking tag on here, right? And then additionally, I have that same ticketing number, right? So all I've got to do is click the carabiner on there. Boom, we're now tracking the keys. Boom, we're now tracking the car. So anywhere that it floats around, whether it's in a service bay, whether it's out back, whether it somehow gets parked up in the sales lot, right? Anywhere that it's at on the campus, I'm gonna be able to quickly find the key and find the car to make all my staff more efficient and of course, eliminate lost keys in cars. What's going on, guys? So I'm back in the studio and I'm using the phone app to mirror onto the screen. So I'm using this iPhone right here just so you can see it, but no worries if you're an Android-based user, I happen to use both. This will work for absolutely either one. So I want to walk you through a couple things so you can understand how easy it is to use the app and what this looks like. So I'm going to start you off at the bottom of the screen on the bottom right where it says vehicle locations. This is just going to show you a breakdown of where all of your vehicles live so you can get an understanding. And this can be based off the geofences that we create and the naming system that you choose, right? So we've got garage, we've got a secondary garage, service drive, old bays, all these different things that we've labeled off. And these are areas that we've geofenced off so you know that the car is living in that area, right? So if I see one that's in Lexus sales, then I know I have cars that are sitting in an area that they shouldn't be, right? As a fixed ops director, this is going to help me very quickly be able to view this, and you'll be able to see this on the desktop dashboard here in just a second from a visual way as well. But I wanted you to understand that we can kind of section these off so that very quickly I could scroll through here and make sure that I'm seeing that all my cars are where they're supposed to be and there's not anything parked where it shouldn't be, right? So if I jump into the garage, because that's typically where their cars are going to live, it's going to present me a list, right? And on here I can see them, right? So my numbers based off that numbering system that we had. So an example of a tag right here, this one's a 3-digit one, but if it was 3, then I would just type in 0151, right? Theirs is a 4-digit tagging system because this is just a promo tag. Now, for this first one, you can see 0009. So I can simply click into that one. It's going to show me where the car is at first and then where the key is at next. Now, not only is it showing me on the map, and I can zoom in and out, right? So if I needed a little bit more visual understanding. And when I'm on the map, obviously I'm not back in Florida now. I'm back home in Texas. It'll show me where I'm at on the map as well, right? So I'll appear as a dot so I can understand in relation to myself, where am I walking to? So this vehicle happens to live in the garage on level 2, in the covered southern portion of it, right? So that's typically where they keep their service vehicles, right? Right at the next button, it's going to jump over to the key, and not only is it going to show me where the key's at, but it's telling me it's in the garage on level 1 with the service keys, right? So we have geofenced off where they keep their keys, so I know that the keys are where they should be versus it's living in a bay, and it would tell me that and then show me on the map or, whatever it may be. So this way, as a person who's maybe picking up the car, so if I was a service tech and I was going to go grab this car to start doing the ticket, boom, I've already pulled it up. I know where the key's at, keys where it should be, car sitting on level 2. I can go grab the car, get it pulled into my bay, start working. Versus, let's jump back into this and let's pretend we're going to go from the other way. So I'll go to another search here. So let's say I'm the lot porter they're sending to get the car because the customer's here, they've paid, now we need to pull the car up for them. I could pull this up and it's quickly going to show me, hey, where's the car at? It's on garage on level 1 in the detailed parking area. So maybe they ran it through the wash to get things cleaned up, and now I need to go find that car. So that's where the car is at. The key, living where the service key should be. So I know that the key is where it should be. It's not still at a service tech, in a bay. It's with the cashier, right? So I can understand that the key is where it should be. I can get that easily, and I can go get the car to get it pulled around for my customer. So very easy. It's going to make it from the front end and the back end. If I'm taking the car in and putting it somewhere versus if I'm bringing the car back out to give it back to the customer, it's going to be very easy to do. Now, you saw that, right? that was working out of here. I could run a general search. So the same thing, if I came down here, I would type in any of those numbers. So, let's just pick a random one, 00, maybe 11, right? So we search one out, we pull it up, and it's going to show me where it's at. So at any point, anybody who's working out of the service area can look this up and see where the car's at, living on level 2, and then the key is actually in the loaner key office, right? So perfect example of a different situation of where a key and a car are living. So I get a visual interpretation of this, and then I also get it named out over here. And this is all going to be off your custom naming, right? So we want to name this what makes the most sense to you guys. If you've got an area that you call the Bat Cave because that's where something lives, then we want to name it that, right? If it's a service tunnel versus a tunnel, whatever the naming convention is that you use, we're going to personalize it to you. So that's what it looks like to run a search for a key and a car through the service for the fixed op sides on the app. So let's hop over to the desktop dashboard and I'll show you a little bit more. All right, guys, so here we are on the desktop dashboard, and I just want to walk you through a few things. Obviously, you can see that there's a little bit more information coming to you from the dashboard, which will make sense depending on what your role is at the dealership, right? So I want to remind you that those general areas that we went over, I can see those location areas right up here. So I do have like a small tile box up there, or I can hover over on the map, so you can now see where they're geofenced off and what their names are. Anytime I hover over something, it's going to show me. So the garage that we were looking at earlier, whether it be the service drive, whether it be the other garage, whether it be the Old Bay parking, whatever it may be, I have all these areas labeled. And the same thing, you can see that I'm getting numbers right now here, letting me know how many vehicles in that area. Now, if I wanted pins, I could flip that over and turn a bunch of pins on and see where the cars are. But for the sake of this, I think the numbers make sense. So you can understand what you're seeing, right? Now, over here, I can run those same searches. So I could type in that 4-digit numbering system that they have. So I'm going to go with 11 again. It pulls up, right? Gives me the vehicle that I've searched here. I click on this, and then boom, it pulls up, and it's showing me on the map again, and it's giving me the location and naming it, right? So the car itself is on level 2 in the Cover North Miami side middle. So I know that's on level 2 of this parking structure, and I can see the vicinity. So when I walk out of those, out of the elevator, I know, where it's at. And a reminder, when I'm there, it's going to show me on the map as well if I'm using the app. So it makes a lot of sense if you're walking out to a car. And then the key. Currently, the key is living in the loaner office, so I know where the key is at and the car is at. So very easy. Now, just a reminder on here, obviously you can look at some different details here, and I can add in notes as well, right? So if I wanted to drop in a note because, hey, we took this car in service, or it got towed in, battery's dead, right? I might know ahead of time before we go over to get that car that, hey, I might need to roll this in or push it into a bay, or be aware of that. Or maybe I just want to drop something in here, the last 6 of the VIN or whatever it may be, just so I have 2 different ways to locate this vehicle if I wanted, right? So just some different things, so it'll remind me, hey, this is connected to this ticket or whatever it may be. So just know that anything that you might need to leave a note for, you could absolutely do it. And when I add notes, it'll drop them in there, numerically by date, so that I'll know what the last note was versus how many that we have in there. So just something to be aware of that you can do, and you can do this from the app as well. So know that you can do this from either one, and they'll show in both places. So across the top up here, you're not gonna have to focus on these too much. This is really just showing the amount of tags you have. Obviously, we've already preloaded all the tags, so you can count on that they're all already been tagged, because we have set our tracking tags up to the numbers ahead of time. So when we deliver them to you, all you have to do is literally walk out, put them in the car, and then search that specific number. So very easy to use, but you can see that you have a little bit more info up here. And a lot of this is also going to be because this is the same style dashboard that we use on the retail side. So just a reminder, if you're thinking, hey, this is great, could I use this on my retail side? You absolutely can. Things are just a little bit different. And I have videos over that. I'll put up a link at the end that you can check that out, so that you can see, hey, I'm considering the retail side as well. And just a reminder, I do offer a recon tool as well. So if you want to track your vehicles, so that you're already tracking maybe your fixed op side or maybe your sell side as well, why not track them through each step of the process? Because our tags can automatically check them into geofenced areas. So I would geofence off, the different areas in your recon center, and then as it moves from one to one, it'll check in and out of each, so you can start to see how long does it spend in each step, how long does it take my whole process, how can I make this more efficient and turn inventory faster. So know that I've got a few different products that all kind of play the role off of using this location-based software and hardware. So that's kind of a quick rundown to what you're seeing here. Obviously, I can run a lot of different searches, but I think this makes a lot of sense to you. As far as other things you may be concerned about of, hey, man, how do I add in people and do different things? Just go to user account, hit a new user, I add them in. So very easy to do this. I can come into a user, so this is specifically me, and I can control what they have options to do, right? So maybe I just want the default standard user. All they can do is run searches, right? They just need to be able to find keys, find cars, and go get them, versus being an admin or being able to manage logins or different things like that. So you can obviously set your managers up to control other things. And just a reminder here, right? Like, so this is my, a real email and a real name. You can also set up fake ones. So if you just want a generic email that you use for a group, maybe it's, valet at TrueSpot, or, for your dealership naming system, whatever you want it to be, or service tech at blah, 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 so that all of your guys can use the same login. You could absolutely set that up as well. So we can make this very simple to where it's very manageable and very easy to understand for everyone, so that it's not a, well, I got to remember my login. Oh, I got to remember this. I got to do this. I got to do all these extra steps. No, the idea is to be seamless and work with you
as easy as possible, right? So that is what the dashboard looks like. That's what it looks like to run a search. Obviously, now you can see those geo-fenced off areas from a higher view and get an understanding for what this looks like. All right, guys, so you now have seen what the fixed ops tracking looks like as far as, one, understanding what the hardware is, two, understanding what the network is, of course, seeing what it looks like to run a search via the phone app, right, whether it be Apple or Android, and then, of course, pulling up the desktop dashboard, which we were just on, so you can start to understand, hey, what do the geo-fenced areas look like? How can I see what's in what area very quickly? And then how can I run searches, whether I'm sitting at a desktop versus using my phone, depending on what my role is at the dealership. So hopefully all that makes sense. Now, I will remind you that, of course, I do offer the ability to track your keys in your cars on the retail side of things. So if you find that, you know, your guys are struggling on that side, know that I have that option too. And at the end, I'll throw up a video so you can check out what that looks like if you want to see a store setup, which Lexus of Pembroke Pines also is tracking their keys on the sell side as well. Now, lastly, I do offer a recon tool. So once you are tracking your vehicles, why not start to track them as they move through the process, right? Why not allow a car to check itself in and out of each step so I can see how long it takes in each step, how long it takes in the overall process, so we can really start to cut that down and turn our inventory faster. Used cars are a big focus right now with not a lot of new cars being out there. So why not work to work this to your advantage, right? Let's make the most money we can and turn the inventory as quick as we can. So all of these are different products I offer. If you have questions or concerns about any of them, please feel free to give me a call, text, email. I will throw up all of my info at the end of the screen. You can, of course, reach out to me that way. Or if you'd like to set up a demo to talk about your store, pricing relations, and how that plays a role and what makes your store unique, I'll have a link that will be, of course, in the description as well, so that you can reach out to me and set that demo up. Other than that, appreciate you tuning in. Talk to you later, guys. Later!